I know it's hard in this world we live, but we gotta make the best of what it is. Keep your head up. They know my cats being laced with biz. We gotta strive because we hurting our kids. Keep your head up. I know it's hard in this world we live, but we gotta make the best of what it is. Keep your head up. They know my cats being laced with biz. We gotta strive because we hurting our kids. Keep your head up.
All right, so we start off with some original music, and this suits what we're gonna go into your book. You know what I mean? Because I got some questions. I've read a little more, so I got some questions about your book, and I want the people to see it. And I saw Dawn had posted something, on Facebook about promoting your book, and that's exactly what we need to do. We need to start doing more of helping each other grow economically, mentally, spiritually, culturally. All of these things is a necessity for us as a people to begin to do, because we are a great people. However, we've been mind conditioned to look at ourselves as less than. And I want everybody to know who's listening that this is not about promoting drugs. This is not about promoting bad behavior. This is not about promoting sex. This is about educating and teaching. You know what I'm saying? As well as entertainment. So I want anyone who's watching to know that. Now, with that being said, welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you for having me, man. Once again, I am delighted. I pay homage to the man above the universe and the God that I serve, man. I'm so thankful. You have always been an inspiration to me, even when me and Kaheem was little, watching you, looking up to you, looking up to you. You have always been a man of integrity, a man of great character, and I do appreciate this platform once again, Brother Shadi Duhan. You are an amazing brother. You are for the culture. You are truly the voice of the culture. But let me say this before I get into all the things that you want me to do.
Go ahead.
Let me shout out to let me first say rest in peace to those who have lost their lives in the year of 2024. Some friends of ours, some colleagues of ours, and I would
Absolutely.
just like folks to just just kind of think of the goodness of those folks that lost their lives.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then I want to shout out my sister who yesterday sparked me up, Natalie Dawn Clifton. And one of
Okay.
the things she said, I've known her, she have known me since, and this is the crazy thing, right? She said, I have to tell people your honorable government name because they know this is, I said, yo, you know what, Dawn, you can do that
Right.
because you raised me and you've seen me grow, me, your brothers and all, and we come on. Like, and she said one thing and that you co-signed and you said the last time you and I had a sidebar conversation, and she said, let's support one another. And you chimed in and said, support each other. This is what we need to do. So what I did today, I tagged everybody. I told everybody to go subscribe to Peep Game TV because you gotta
Absolutely.
understand, like let's look at politics for a minute, right?
Right.
The president really ain't really nothing. It's the council, it's the people in the grind, the lower end people that's in the streets that's helping, the nonprofits, the community that's serving the people are the core of the government. So I never really get too tied in to who to vote for and let one man decide my fate. Right?
Absolutely.
And so when you say support, we got to realize that we got to stop glorifying or getting too hyped up on Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Now look, I know that's entertainment. Now, I'm not here to bash, dude. I'm
No.
not. But 1 minute, I'm trying to tell somebody something. If $1 Million Game has a podcast and everybody's strung on that, right? What about
Right.
Peep Game? What about somebody you can touch and call up and say, Shadi, can I get on? And I'm gonna push your business. Yo, brother Prince Creed, yo, can you come and ghostwrite the book for me? I got a book idea. No, let me buy your book. Let me support you. Let me get you shirts. Let me come out to your tiny desk. Let me be the special guest. Let me speak some spoken words. And we got to realize that we are Voltron in our community.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that one thing I got to shout Dawn out. I appreciate her. She have known me since I was a little, and I'm
Shout
telling
out to
you, I am
Dawn.
so
Shout out to Dawn, aka Natalie.
Natalie, and I am well appreciative, and I just wanted to get that out right real quick, man. But I
Okay.
thank you for having me, Duan. Once
And
again, I
it's always my pleasure to have you, my brother. You know, I got this new hat. The brother, you know, the Wazir. He's basically the governor of North Carolina. We call it moral copolis. See, you guys be hearing me speaking about you know, us putting together our government. I'm actually working on it behind the scenes as I speak to you guys of putting together our government because think of it this way. Why should we continue to vote for people and at the end of the day, we still have some of the same social issues? As a people, we haven't grown completely as a people. Sure, individually, there's a few people become millionaires, billionaires. However, even those who come million or billionaires still have to walk a tight leash. Puffy, perfect example. R. Kelly, another perfect example. Bill Cosby, another perfect example. So, with that being said, America, the United States, gives people money to pull their strings. And grant you, all the people who make the money, they deserve it. They have some kind of talent, outstanding talent, or some type of skill that is beholden to them, even like a Tyler Perry. So when it comes to that, why do we continue to allow the colonists or America, the people who came to our land, who left their own land because they didn't want to be governed by Britain no longer, so they created a government and then they usurped that government on top of us and began to govern us. And we complain and say, man, the white people don't be treating us white. The white people this, the white people that. You got people who make a living off of talking about what the white man do and what the white man don't do. And mind you, I'm white and black is just colors. They're really not people because there's no land called Whiteopolis or there's no land called Black Aurelia. You know what I'm saying? So there's no, the people is just a caste system that was put together by this government to divide the people so that they can conquer. We know the divide and conquer. Now, most of us know that we were the first people on earth. Why is it so difficult for us to believe that we were the first people in this land prior to the colonists coming here? And once the colonists came here, we welcomed them. We welcomed them here. And we even put together a peace treaty. But the thing about putting the peace treaty together, when our ancestors put together the peace treaty with the Sultan of Morocco, this was really named was a part of the Empire of Morocco. So what happened was because it was the Empire of Morocco, we were tied to the land as Moroccan Moors. Now, as Moroccan Moors, we have a peace treaty, which we still have, by the way. We still have the peace treaty with the United States of America, not the United States, not America, United States of America. Now, the big issue when you hear me talking about us with the black thing, look, I love black people. I'm considered black. But when we hold it up as a color, none of us this. You know what I'm saying? None of us is really that. And how we've been being played is this is called peep game. And I want y'all to peep game, people. Peep game, long as we continue to call ourselves black and not know that we have a nationality and black is not our nationality. Black is just something, a brand or a label that we use to connect and say what's up and all that. It's just like a nickname. And until we begin to start utilizing Moroccan Moors, we're unable to deal with the European on a straight up manner, legally and politically. Because let's face it, Europeans never going to allow us, even though they got Kamala Harris running now. Kamala Harris, prior to her running for office, wouldn't even claim black. You know why? Because she know what I know. She know that black don't exist legally on paper. She knows that. But I'm a in there. I want to get into your book. You know what I mean? I want to get into your book. I want you to speak about two brothers that I saw, DeBar and McGriff. I want you to speak about them because when I got a story to tell. It's about us telling where we came from and how we got to where we at. Because a lot of times we see a finished product. We don't see the struggle. We don't see where you started off and how you got to where you at. So just elaborate on either one first. You know what I mean? How they
Yes,
from the younger days to where they at now. You know, something like that. All right. Yeah.
will do.
Go ahead.
Brother Duan, I appreciate your views and your strength and your knowledge on and I want to say philosophy. You are very intelligent, brother. So I appreciate you giving me that history and some things that I can ponder on and think about. And congratulations on the government movement. And I support whatever that's gonna manifest itself to me in its entirety. So I definitely appreciate you. I respect you. So I just want to clear the air
Same
with
here.
that.
Same
And,
here.
and I definitely can understand where you're going at. And again, I appreciate it. All right. So let me just say this. You got your comments coming in. All right. In
Uh,
this in the book,
yeah.
Once Upon a Time in the Projects, The Lost and Found. It's a book that is near and dear to me, right? But
That's true.
it's me telling a story in front of my building, right? And if you look at the cover of the building, it's my building condemned, right?
Right.
And I'm looking at the building, and then it's me looking towards the building, what's missing, and then me looking at you
This is the
guys
book,
and
people.
praying, right? And so I'm praying that everyone can realize that when we come from those housing developments, it doesn't exempt, anything for me being up
Nobody
17
is.
days.
Nobody is. Go
Right.
ahead.
So the two guys, I got a chapter called The Two. First of all, it actually has Kason and Dubar in. But if you want to pull Dubar out of that chapter, my mission is to bring Dubar to life. By interviewing Dubar, I'm gonna start here. Dubar was like the little guy to Griff and Big Mo, right? So he was like the little guy. Dewey at that time was weighing like 100 and something pounds, but he had that heart. Dubar was the type of person that stood up for that pound. He stood up for, let's be clear. Before I go to the pound, because that's going to be in my next series, right?
Right.
The pound. So it
Right.
goes from Once Upon a Time in the Projects, The Lost and Found. That's the first series. The next series is the pound. Because we never, come on, Duan, we never started out as the pound. That's my brother Fine, Shalimar, Lil
Later on.
Pink,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
later
yeah.
on generation.
Dog Pound. It was
Dog Pound, that's
PJs, man.
Rico and
When I
them.
was coming up there, it was the PJs, man.
It's PJs, it's Alabama Projects.
Yeah.
So when you think of Alabama Projects, you think of Dubar and them. Like you think of Dubar fending for his community, going into down the hill clubs or bars, fending for his family, fending for, and I say family, I mean all of us. Dubar used to come home with scars and hits across the head. And I said, why? So and so didn't fight. I had to fight for him. Dubar was in Eastside High School, and you can contest to this, where he had to walk through enemy territory. So we had allies with 17th Ave, your community, but then again, it was a little bit of HBO problem as well. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had
A
to
little
go
turbulent,
a little bit
at
turbulent. So
times.
so Dubarnum had to walk around the whole world to get to the projects because the beef was on all areas, right? Going through 17th Ave. 17th Ave, you guys was in the middle of everything. Like y'all was in the middle of, if you go to 17th Ave, it's a community, you don't know who's coming from which block. Like y'all on 30th, You know what I mean? Just like it was just so many, because I be out there with y'all. So I know everybody's coming from all different directions. But when you talk about Dubar, you talk about a young man at that time. I was a little younger than him. He's the generation before me, is while I interview him in K-Song. I watched Dubar do crazy stuff at an early age. I watched Dubar get on a moped or a dirt bike, pop wheelies, and drive to New York, come back with work. I watched Dubar supply. I got the drinks, and we used to sit on the bench and break day. I watched Dubar also bring the knowledge. I watched Dubar build. I watched Dubar speak lessons. I watched Dubar encourage us not to do it. Me, his brother Ahmed, and them encouraging us not to do what he's doing. I watched Dubar again fight for us even when we were wrong. Donald Dubar Austin, I'm gonna say it that way so people can realize that when I look at him running a whole kitchen in North Carolina, I'm proud of him because y'all don't know the videotape to his life. Duhan, you probably can tell a good story, which you can't fill it in. But when I look at Dubar as an example, a template in my generation, me watching him of what to do and what not to do.
Absolutely.
All right, let me just be clear.
Absolutely.
What to do and what not to do.
Absolutely.
You know, and when Dubar was in a coma, I don't know if anyone that's listening know that Dubar was actually in a coma. He had to learn how to do all this over again. And when you see him get up, you understand that he was blessed, had a favor on his life. And so I love Dewey. Dubar is like my family member. He's my family on all course across the boards. And that's my story about Dubar.
Okay. Now, also Saul McGriff, and I know both of the brothers, because I was one of the few that used to come up in the projects and hang out, and I don't know who it was asking me, was I holy or do we think we're perfect? I mean,
who's that chiming in? You guys are what? What is that? Holy or I don't know who's that. What's that? Are you guys perfect? Are you guys holy and are you evil?
Right. I don't know where they're coming from because they're not putting it in context of where they're coming from. I mean, perfection is something that I strive for each and every day to be better and better. Now, if perfect also determines the mindset of an individual to determine whether a person is
Got to
perfect
put my
or not.
glasses on this one.
Go ahead, so that's what it is. So I strive to be better, and we all should strive to be better. That's a goal in life. Each and every day in life, if you're not striving to be better, that means you're just maintaining or you're stagnating. It's time for us to grow. That's what it's about, growing each and every day. Whatever you see that you were weak in the day before, strive to correct that. And that's what I do. But I hear that often where people say that I think I'm perfect, and I don't. I strive for perfection. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I try to rule out all negativity within my circumference, whether it be within inside myself or my surroundings. And that's what I do, and that's what I'm about. So I hope that answered your question.
I agree with you 100%. And let me go ahead and chime in on that question. There's no perfect person that lives on this planet, right? And there's no holy person that lives on this planet. And when you look at good and evil, good and bad, that exists within us. We have the jury, we have the mindset to knowing who's evil, who's righteous, or whatever. Now, if you're coming for the people and trying to feed and trying to help and trying to uplift and loving yourself, then you're for the people. You have a righteousness. If you're here killing and which I look at the question, I can take an offense to that, right? Or I can look at it and say, are we doing anything right now hurting anyone for you to ask the question, are we evil? Are we doing anything right now saying that you bad? Are we bashing anybody to make you think we holy? So if our content didn't come off of that, and I'm defending because Peep Game is a part of who I am, is my culture. I'm Peep Game. So if we never manifest anything as if we perfect or if we just don't ask the question. I'm sorry. Here's what I want to tell you about. Here's what I want to tell you about Griff. Professor Griff, we call him Jeffy McGriff, right?
Right.
Jeffy McGriff, when I grew up, Duan, man, I thought this dude was the best basketball player in the whole world. I actually thought, if you read the book, I thought he can beat any NBA player. When I came with the school 20, when I hung out on the Park Ave, right? When I used to always say to people, yo, is a guy named Griff in my projects can beat Michael Jordan. Like I used to just make like he's top player. He's dope. He's this and that. He'll
Right.
dunk on you. Because when I was little, all I used to watch him and his brother Steve and my brother Arnold, Rory Sparrows, Crummy, Phil Johnson, just naming a few of the folks on the basketball court, hogging the court up. The old heads like Griffin, them just hogging the court up.
Right.
They hog the court, right? And so when I look at Griff, when I saw him as that person, and it won me over. I was just so overwhelmed and so proud of him, right? I got a part of me when Griff went to the left, it broke my heart. And so he was able to let me say it in a book that, you know what I mean, when he went through his struggles with drugs, when he went through the struggles and everything, Griff told me, man, you know, transparency, I'm paraphrasing, is how he healed. And so when he talked to me in his book and he said, tell people, I was the last guy in the project selling drugs and got locked up before they were tearing it down. But he didn't want to go get help. He kept going in and going out. But this guy was a protector of our culture. He was a person that was leading by example. To this day, he's a minister and he's a mentor to kids playing basketball in Texas. He's doing everything that he said he was going to do. Plus, he was never a punk. He was that person that stood up. And I mean, I'm bringing the fighting stuff in there with the pound, who the best in the world. Juhan, you was nice with your hands too, my dude. But look, but just to say, I was safe with Dubar, Kason, Griff, on top of my own brother, Herb. I was safe. That's why I was able to go out on 17th Ave, hang with Tariq, because me and his cousin educator was like best friend, next door neighbor. This was why I was able to hang with your brother. Go downstairs in the basement. You understand? And I ain't gonna tell you all the stuff we did in the basement, but let me just say this. This was why, because Griff and them paid the tax. They paid the price for us to be able to leave those projects and be free out there to network and do whatever we did. And I pay homage and love and respect to Griff and Dewey and Kason and those that are in my book. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
you know, and even my second family, because 17th Ave Knowledge God, that was my second family. You know that, man. I was out there, you know what I mean, just showing love, and rest in peace to Lena, rest in peace to Kayshawn, rest in peace, you know what I mean, like Lenny Talbert, rest in peace,
Absolutely. Rest
you
in
know what I
peace to
mean? Shout out
all
to
the
all my
loved
living,
ones.
shout out to those that are amongst the living, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Come on, man. The list goes on
Yeah,
and on
yeah,
and on. I'll be here all
yeah.
day.
I mean, you know, I hung out in the projects so much so that people used to think I was from the project in Eastside. So I had to be like, nah, I'm from 17th Ave. I'm not from the project. You know, I'm with Moochie, you know, I'm with Big Mo. You know, I'm cool and I go up there and hang out. Only thing was when it became a conflict, now I'm in the middle. You know, 17th Ave against the project. Now I gotta pick a side. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it was always love after the battle. And
Yeah.
that's what the young people missing now, that they're battling with guns, so you don't get the chance to apologize. You don't get the
Yes.
chance to make up
Yes,
for
sir. Yes.
after, you know, I mean, you may live, but there's a greater chance that you won't live. So that's what I say to you young brothers, you young goons out there. And please stop beefing with each other and bringing other people's family into it. Talking about mothers and sisters and other people because you can't get to who you want to get to. That's savagery. That's being a savage. And a savage is one who don't have knowledge of himself. And that's why you hear me speaking about us as black people understanding and overstanding and understanding that there's another part to us and we are Moroccan Moors. That's who we are. So
Man, look, let me just say this with the content of the book, right? I spoke with Arthur Laurie, man, my big brother, man. Like that's him and my brother
Art,
Arnold.
Big Art. I remember
Big
Big
Art
Art.
was he's still
Big
amongst the
Art,
living. My
yeah.
brother Arnold, who I made tribute to this book, is about my older brother Arnold, who will be proud of me right now, even saying this and doing this. Um, Big Art said, "Yo, Prince, you think you're gonna do this one book?" I said, "Well, I'm gonna try. It's finished already, Art." He said, "It's too many stories," and so Art gave me the idea without knowing he gave me the idea to do a series. And so I'm going to do the series of books. The next series, I'm going to send the manuscript to Charlemagne the God's Black Privilege Publication. He told me to send it to him. I'm going to send it to him because he liked the idea that it's a series. Because I can't just sum up everything in the projects. Now, keep in mind, when I say the Once Upon a Time in the projects, it's just me telling a story starting in the projects, leading to 17th Ave, leading to Governor Street, leading
No,
to
absolutely.
Marcy, leading. So I start in my project. So I want to be clear with the context so people on the outside of projects or inside the project saying, hey, why are you talking so much down about it? Like it's not about that. What it is I'm saying to you, our whole culture and community, and you can contest to this as a Morocco Moor, that we are a project. We are an experiment. We are a test mount. Like forever we will be that. Our culture has been through so much abstract, pulling from, learning from, to the point of hip hop is almost diminished. You know what I mean? To jazz is gone. Like, so I'm just saying this to say this book is about the mentality that we all have. And so when I talk about the book, Brother Duhan, I talk about Howard Schultz. Who is Howard Schultz? You drink Starbucks coffee. He was the CEO and the former owner of the Seattle Supersonics. He was the CEO of Starbucks. He sold his rights and moved on. He grew up as a Jewish boy in the projects in Brooklyn called Bayview. Now he was poor, a Jewish family poor. So why am I saying this? I'm letting people know it ain't just a black community, it's a poor community. It's about the poor mentality, but it didn't stop him. It didn't stop him from being a CEO. It didn't stop him from being the author of 4 business books. Jay-Z. So you can say what he wants. He sold so much drugs, shot at his family members, came from Marcy, a billionaire. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this is that we have to learn in our community, amongst us, how to support and push people to that same energy, same enthusiasm that we do a Howard Schultz, that we do a Jay-Z. And one of the things I love about this book is that it talks about Mary J, it talks about Sakaya Peterkin, it talks about Roxanne Shante, it talks about Yvette Austin. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that it just doesn't start and stop in my projects. It doesn't just stop and start in CCP. You know what I mean? This is a universal message about mental health. It is about mental health and mental wellness and stability that we got to realize that even the stuff you've seen on 17th Ave, even the bodies you've seen, like even the things that we've been through can wear us out. Social media is becoming a, 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 having a negative, could have a negative impact on your mental health, on your mind, because we get so caught up into what's popping on social media. You know what I mean? Peep Game is popping on social media. It's talking about content. You talk about good stuff that can help change some people's lives. Let's stay there. And that's what this book is about. And I have to continue to do the series because it's gonna have a series where I go from the projects to the streets. What is our life outside of the projects? How do we relate to Mr. Hill, to Andre, to Duhan, part of the government? I mean,
Yeah, you
how
can
do we
use
relate
that. You
to
can
you?
use it. We
How,
want people to know.
how,
We got like 2 minutes left.
how do we relate there? How do we relate there? How? And so that's why I had to do a series, Brother Duhan. And I
Absolutely.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. While the 2 minutes is still rolling, can I
Go
tell
ahead.
people what I have in store? What's
Go
going
ahead.
on
Go ahead.
with
Go
Month of
ahead. Go
August?
ahead. Go ahead.
Listen, first of all, I want y'all to continue to support Peep Game TV. Follow, subscribe right now on YouTube. Right now, click the subscribe button so you can get the notifications when Brother Duhan is going live at 5. Right? Spread the word. Spread the word. Share it amongst the culture. That's important. That means a lot to me because I'm going to do it. So you could follow suit if you want. The month of August is a very great month for me. It's my anniversary month. I'll be married to my wife, who's a Pattersonian. Y'all probably know her, the Green Eye Bandit, Deborah Smith, right? But Deborah McIntyre. I've been married 14 years in this month. This is a good month for me because right now I am already at 400 copies of my book sold. Thanks to my brother Duhan for supporting me. I can name so many people, but it's 400, Duhan. We don't have enough time. But I thank you guys for supporting me. It will get better. It will get better. It will get better. The content will get better. But I did it because it was something I had to do, right? Your idea will outlive you. If I die the next day, my book will forever be on this earth. So keep that in mind. The month of August is really, really great. I'm excited. I got the Tiny Desk NPR. I shot the Tiny Desk NPR segment. They're gonna air that in 2025. They're gonna select which one will go in the order it will go. That's NPR. When y'all see the Tiny Desk concerts, that has already been good geared for 2025, right? And then in a month, I'm touring. So what I'm doing is these live audio book experience tours, where it's the Tiny Desk / Tiny Bookshelf performance. This Sunday, I'll be in Virginia Beach at an 80/20 juice bar in Virginia Beach. It's a real positive energy there. Then on the 17th of August, I'll be in Greenbelt, Maryland. It's the Independent Black Author Expo. Independent Artist Expo. I'll be there. Brother and Sister Foundation, powered by them. She invited me out, and I'll be there doing my thing with the amazing Juanita Wynn and my sister J Dub. She sings background with Angie Stone. Then I got my brother Chance from Virginia Beach. He was on Blackstreet's first album, Physical Thing, in the remix to Booty Call, the original Pirate. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna bring special guests as I travel. So if I come back to Patterson or in that area, I need to get a spot to do this. It will be near to me. But on the 24th of August, Love Thy Neighbor community gathering at Vera Ames Park. We'll be there giving back to the community, the Latter Glory Church. So I'm a part of the ministry, just so that you know. But we'll be out there just giving away. We need some volunteers. We need a lot of stuff. So I'll be out there. And then the following week, I will be at Councilman Rob Artist birthday bash, the annual golf birthday bash, and then I'm gonna sneak over to the concert at Hempcliff Stadium. So that's for my month of August. Is gonna be excited, brother
Okay,
Durant.
so you
And
got a busy month, brother.
it's a busy month, man.
You know, as usual, we appreciate you. And I brought those two brothers up because I want people to enter, and understand that where you at, you don't have to remain. You can come from one place and get to another place. Your conditions is only it's temporary. Conditions are temporary. Just like our conditions as a people is temporary. We got a bright future, and we all are a part of it. So until next time, Peep Game, leave you with peace.
Peace.